Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your September reading. The month of September is an eclipse month. The first lunar eclipse is the full moon in Pisces on the 7th of September. The second eclipse is a solar eclipse in the second new moon in Virgo on the 21st of September. So we have two new moons in Virgo, which is giving us this wonderful expanded time of careful application of the plans we've reviewed, we've reshaped, we've reviewed previous to this period, particularly through the Mercury retrograde. But we've been gathering up, discriminating between, sorting through the lessons and experiences we've gained in order to implement our best practice. Your overall energy for this month is a 7 of Swords. Getting a couple of mixed messages here. Because the new moon in Virgo is focused on your house of significant relationships, both this month and next month as well, you are in a position to consider the kinds of things that others are saying about who you should be partnered with. This may be comments and reviews or criticism, feedback about partnerships or partnership experiences you've had. This can be your own sense of review of the pattern of relationships that looks as though it has been short of successful. And you're really trying to sort out the well-intentioned, in some cases, and the less well-intentioned criticism or feedback you're receiving for others who you believe are making a lot of assumptions about what you want and what you desire, what you deserve. Underneath the deck is the Knight of Pentacles, which indicates, rather than what others are saying to you, how others are supporting you or not supporting you, you are standing fast and holding, slowing down long enough to consider your vision of success, of manifestation, of independence, of productivity, what that means to you and how that could be an integral part of any relationship, business or otherwise. This feels key to your identity at this point. You see yourself as working in union with another or with others to some purpose, and you are aware that your choice in relationship reflects your understanding of where you belong in the world. So this feels like a lot of quite challenging considerations in taking in information that you're receiving from others. Some of it critical, some of it misinformation, and some of it just unsolicited advice and an unwillingness to see you whole. And for the Crystal Oracle, I've chosen this one, and I'm going to discard it because it's about a power animal, and unless you know your power animal or an animal that feels familiar to you, then I don't know that this is useful. I have a power animal. Cats are my power animals, but I'm sure I'm going to pull another oracle card for one that might be a little more useful to you in this beautiful moonstone. Yay! The moon in the tarot, the major arcana, is one of your cards, and the moonstone's keyword is cycles. I'm in the divine flow of my soul rhythms and life cycles. And that's showing me that you are hanging on to your independence. You recognize this is a value added as a person, as a whole person, whether you're in a relationship or not. Smart. This is also an acknowledgement that this reading is general, and if it doesn't resonate with you, you have my permission to check your other placements where you will find messages that will suit you better. I don't want anyone to feel like they're wasting their time arguing with me or not being seen. For those of you that remain, thank you, and let's get started with the past energy. This is roughly the end of August until the full moon in Pisces in early September. The Seven of Pentacles is about, again, another seven. You're on your path. You know that you're on your path. What you're doing is sufficiently challenging to others or even threatening to others that they have a lot to say about it. And you're aware of that. However, you are looking carefully at what you've invested in, what you are growing, what you are cultivating, and how to maximize that success, that profit, that benefit. This can be an opportunity that is supported by your willingness to slow down and assess, evaluate who you are and who you want to be in or out of a relationship. The essential characteristic of the Pisces I'm talking to is independence and the right to choose for oneself. And that independence affords you that. Here you are understanding that there is a way to work smarter rather than harder, to reinvest in a way that allows you to do more, receive more while doing less, certainly no more than you're doing. So this is about leveraging your effort in a way that will be more productive, and that can be, as an example, gaining an assistant, having somebody help you with your books, that kind of thing. There's many ways in which you can gain the resources you need to do more. In the middle of the month, roughly from the full moon in Pisces to the second new moon in Virgo in late September, this is the Ten of Swords. This is a rather gruesome picture. However, the idea is still the same. You have released an old life. And for some of you, this feels like an old relationship story. So some of the values based on who you are or based on your family culture of origin, you may have been told or assumptions made about partnerships for you that you're finding are not working for you, do not represent who you are or what you want to achieve. What your idea of partnership is may be something very different from how you've been groomed and conditioned. But it is really the beliefs that those are expectations are set upon that you're rejecting. The belief that you need to be helped, rescued, assisted, supported by another are assumptions you reject. You're fully capable of standing on your own 2 feet. That does not mean that you do not wish for a productive, loving relationship, by no means, but you want to be loved for who you are, not your ability to feign helplessness or neediness. That goes against your principles. So you are forthright. You are moving forward in a way that establishes your own expertise, your own productivity, and that's what you're standing on here. So there is a sense of tremendous loss, even, I would say, physical exhaustion as well. And one thing that is often unexpected or unanticipated because of the degree of spiritual growth that you may be experiencing is the tremendous need for physical care. That's the need for hydration, cannot be underestimated. Your body is going through a lot, just sorting through and filtering new levels of communication and access that you've gained as your consciousness is expanding. New ways that you now understand self-care is essential to your doing what you do and staying in full alignment with your desire, your goals, rather than with your fears. It isn't that your fears go away, it's that you learn to manage them better, to use those fears to shine light on things that you're not good at or you need help with. In the future, being roughly about the time following the second new moon in September, the moon card. So we're getting a lot of moon energy here, which is an area that you are comfortable in. The unseen, the invisible, the unity, the connection that binds all things and all people is your expertise. This you know, this you see. You see in ways others don't. However, as I just said, I don't feel that the fears that you're releasing, the beliefs and expectations that you no longer feel beholden to, are sources of avoidance for you. I feel that you have learned that your fears are instructive. Your fears give you places to go in your dreams, in your unconscious, in those areas where you understand that you are unconsciously motivated in ways that you cannot control or you may not even be aware of. This is the realm of self-sabotage, and you are comfortable maintaining, supporting a sacred space for yourself where you have the access, the privilege, the leisure to face those things within your own well. Those dark shadow energies, you're able to recognize the value and strength of those connections while shaping them in a way that doesn't preclude your activity, so that you are safe to go wherever you need to go, to do what you want to do. You're not held back. You're not afraid. And this often means usurping some of the old authority figures that existed in our lives. Some of those authorities you love deeply and you honor that connection, but you understand that those values are no longer your values. So this is powerful and also shows you really spending time to get into your sacred space. Time to honor that. I would suggest that this full moon in Pisces is going to be challenging in a positive way. All challenges are opportunities, and perhaps showing you some kind of a secret, hidden truth or information that you've been avoiding. I also would invite you, if this reading is resonating with you, to like this video, share it with others, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all of you that support me in all the ways that you do. It makes me so happy to see my channel grow and to know that I have a community that supports what I do. So, I'm going to clarify the Seven of Pentacles in the past with the Ten of Wands and the Hanged Man. So here you are really not only are you looking at the way you've invested your energies in what it is you want to accomplish, but you're also recognizing that you have been carrying responsibilities that don't belong to you. And this is quite often the case with people that are as empathetic and compassionate as you are, people that see connections others can't, Often you are tasked with the work of making those connections clear to others. You may be training, you may be advocating for others, you may be educating or making presentations to communities in order to inform them about the way the world works or where the need is in their community. So, but this indicates that these tasks, these obligations and responsibilities do not all belong to you. You can educate and inform others about them, but along with the changes in your belief system, the changes in your response to the expectations or directives of others, you are also questioning the obligations, the responsibilities that you have carried for a while, and realizing those are not all yours, and they're certainly not all yours to carry. So I feel like there is, again, this hanging back, this stepping back in order to not only evaluate what works for you, but also for you to understand what responsibilities are truly yours because you're carrying too much of a load. You're doing too much, I have to say. And that is, again, adding to this exhaustion, this place where you can't carry on. And I have to say that in general, this time of intense astrological energy is truly, truly altering our personal biology and chemistry. And again, I can't emphasize enough the need for self care, for replenishment, for rest, for hydration. All of these things are essential because your cells are literally changing with the expansion of your awareness. So, this is an appropriate time for you to evaluate where you're putting your energy and what responsibilities are really yours to carry, to gain a different perspective, one that I believe prioritizes your needs. Because if you're not served, if you're not supported, you can't support others. And as basic as that sounds, it's a hard lesson for us to learn, particularly when we've been conditioned to prioritize the needs of others. In the middle of the month, again, between the full moon in Pisces and the second new moon in Virgo, the Ten of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Columns or the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. There's just so much emphasis in my mind on your independence here. And this feels like a water sign thing for the month of September. That sounded pretty dismissive. I didn't mean it like that. The idea of your independence as being empowering and the necessity for you to protect that. So I do see you recognizing your special gift, your special talent, and the need to protect your ability to exercise that. Because you are one who helps others, who understands how to help others, you are inappropriately tasked with the responsibility to train, to educate, to support, to nurture, to encourage, and you are learning to set clear boundaries around your ability or desire or even appropriateness to do so. In other words, how can you do your work if your job is to help others with theirs? And you're seeing the contradiction in developing your own independence and your own expertise again over and against this constant need to assist others and the constant expectation that that is your role, that's your job, and no other. And so your understanding that kind of argues against your enhanced value, the value you're trying to grow as central to your goals and your ability to move forward, to gain greater abundance, to be more effective, to be more productive. Again, this is all about how partnerships are enhanced by your independence. You're not attracted to others who are not like you, independent, who do like you have a mission, a purpose, an expertise that they too are cultivating. You're looking for partnership and you're looking for respect. So you are willing to work with whoever is aligned with your values, but you're not willing to hold their hands. And this is important because I think this is something that many of us get locked into in a way that invisibly impacts our unconscious motivation to succeed, to be independent. And it eats away at our ability to be so, to invest in ourselves in that way. In the end of September, at around the time of the second new moon in Virgo, the moon card is clarified by the Ace of Columns. That's the Ace of Wands. And the Three of Columns, the Three of Wands. Wow. The end of the month, I see things breaking open for you. The second new moon in Virgo feels like some kind of fresh start, some opportunity for you to set things up in the way that works for you to gather your own team, start on your own independent project, create a department in an organization that lets you work on the things that you're good at and helps you to establish some independence within your field. So you can be part of an organization, but still be establishing a base for future and more independent activities. But this is a fresh start that really comes out of this alignment with the need for intense personal caretaking. Intense, I mean intense. And I'm saying that because Pisces, you are, like so many of us, particularly absorptive of all of the intuitive celestial energy that is available with this intensity of astrological constellations that are mirroring and reflecting the explosive opportunities available in the world. I'm going to finish up this reading, Pisces, with a Soul's Journey card, and I pulled Balance. Nice. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And I do think that last thought is important because you have been judged so often. You are so regularly judged. And it doesn't mean that those judgments aren't often favorable, but it doesn't matter. It's still an expectation and assumption about you that you feel as though you need to push against. You establish harmony in your world without judgment of others, unlike how others have judged you. And that's important because for you, Pisces, protecting your divine ability to perceive and promote connectivity among all things. This is the one love, one heart, one I and I energy that you instinctively can tap into is release, flows only in the absence of judgment. If you enjoyed this content, Pisces, there's more content here for you to check out. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Until next time, namaste.